Let's go next to Preston from Birmingham. Now, is this Birmingham, Alabama, or United Kingdom? Preston from Birmingham.
Hi, can you hear me, David?
Yes, I can. It sounds like it's Alabama, not UK.
Yeah, you can tell, no accent.
That was I was immediately able to deduce that.
All right, David. Well, I took the time to formalize my thoughts for this question.
Oh, thank you.
I went ahead and wrote a thesis for you that I'll submit for you to review.
Thank you.
So I have a few questions regarding Bernie Sanders' Raise the Wage Act.
Sure.
So the Raise the Wage Act would add $2.25 to the federal minimum wage every year through 2025.
Right.
After that, the wage would be increased by the annual percentage increase of the median hourly wage of all employees.
Yes.
So my first question about this is, why are they deciding to increase the wage by the annual percentage increase of the median hourly wage as opposed to something like adjusting for inflation? And also, why are they specifically excluding annual percentage increases in salaries from that calculation?
Well, I think that there's a bunch of different stuff there. First of all, when we talk about the hourly wage, you're talking about the wage for people paid hourly. So it is logical to me that you wouldn't index it to salaried folks who might work 35 or 60 hours per week. That part makes sense. So maybe we can take that piece off the table. I think you would look at, if you're going to index an hourly wage, you would look at hourly workers. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay. In terms of doing it to median rather than inflation, I don't know the answer. I've not read about the reason. The reason to do it median rather than mean seems obvious. And as people have given this example before, if you put 100 people in a room and one of them is Bill Gates, the mean wage will be really high, but the median may not be. Because so median rather than mean makes sense. But as far as versus inflation, I've seen a lot of proposals that would index the minimum wage to inflation. I don't know why it's being done to the median hourly wage, but I would be interested in learning why.
I would too. I completely agree with everything you're saying, though. Makes sense. I've got one more question for you about this.
Sure.
So Sanders is proposing that 225 increase every year through 2025. What's your opinion on this time frame of the rollout? Do you think it would be better to increase this wage faster, maybe as a way to benefit low wage earners and allow them to put money back into the local economy during the pandemic? And on the other hand, I understand that small businesses would be hurt by sudden wage increases, as was addressed in the town hall last night.
Yeah.
So what's your opinion on this time frame? Do you think this is a realistic goal? Do you think it should go faster, slower?
So I would love for it to go faster, but I recognize that it's extraordinarily unlikely to be politically viable. And when you look at senators like Kirsten Sinema and Joe Manchin, who aren't even sure they want a $15 minimum wage, the idea of making it a $15 federal minimum wage tomorrow just seems so unlikely. So I'm not surprised that they're looking at phasing it in over time. Now, of course, by 2025, a $15 minimum wage is going to be a lot less than it would be today because of inflation. Not a lot less. I mean, the U.S. has relatively low inflation, but it's already going to be time to look at the next step at that point in time. But I'm not surprised because particularly in places where the state minimum, a lot of states already have minimum wages of 10, 11, 12, 14 even. In places where the state minimum wage really is still in the sevens, you're talking about more than doubling it. And whatever you believe the minimum wage ultimately should be, and I believe it should be much higher, doubling the minimum wage will have an economic impact. And so I'm not surprised at all that it would be phased in over time. And if Bernie is behind it, I think that he's thought it out well.
Yeah, I agree, David. Thank you for the time, taking the time to answer my questions. Hope you have a good day.
You too. All right. Very good. Great to hear from our friends in Alabama, as always.